Okay, the purpose of this video is to talk about how to graph basic log functions. So what I've got here are two basic log functions that we're going to work on graphing. And the basic strategy is to rewrite the log in exponential form and then to make a t-chart, but instead of plugging in numbers for x, we're going to plug in numbers for y and then to plot those points. So first of all, I'm going to write this equation on the left in exponential form. And the way I do that is to get the log by itself first. So I need to undo the 3, so that would be y over 3 equals log base 2 of x. Now I'm going to rewrite this in exponential form. So the base would be 2, the exponent would be y over 3, and that would equal x. So now I've got that in exponential form. So now I'm going to make a t-chart. And instead of plugging in numbers for x, I'm going to plug in numbers for y. Now I could pick like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, but you see how that y is divided by 3 in there? I'm going to pick numbers that are divisible by 3. So I'm going to pick 0 and then maybe -3 and -6, 3 and 6. Because I don't want to do a whole lot of fraction stuff with that, because that means I'd have to pull out a calculator to do this, and I really just want to take it easy. Now, I'm going to plug in -6 in for the y. I'm plugging it in for the y because that way I can calculate for the x. I would get -2 to the -2nd, sorry, 2 to the -2nd, which would be 1 over 4. When I plug in -3, I get 2 to the -1st, which is 1/2. When I plug in 0, I get 2 to the 0, which is 1. Plug in 3, I get 2 to the 1, which is 2. Plug in 6, I get 2 to the 2nd, which is 4. So now I'm going to plot those points. 1/4, -6, so let's see, 1/4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about right here. 1/2, -3, right there. 1, 0, 2, 3, which is right here. 4, 6, 6. And we'll connect these. You see how it's kind of going like that? Now, exponentials and logs, remember, are inverses of each other. And remember, exponentials had a horizontal asymptote that started at y equals 0 and it can move if the graph got translated. Logs have a vertical asymptote and it starts at 0. And it only moves if the graph gets translated left or right. So make sure you draw the vertical asymptote on there as well. So let's do this other one. I'm going to get it into exponential form. So first of all, I have to get the log by itself. So I'm going to move the 2 over by adding. Rewrite it in exponential form. Make a t-chart. This time the numbers don't look like they'd be that bad, so I can plug in like -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 for the y. If I plug in -2, I get 3 to the 0, which is 1. If I plug in -1, I get 3 to the 1st. Plug in 0, get 3 squared. Now those numbers are going to start looking big. So I think instead of plugging those numbers in, I'm going to plug in -3 and -4. So when I plug in -3, I get 3 to the -1st, 1/3. And then I get -4, I get 3 to the -2nd, which is 1/9. So when I go to plot that, oh, that's a terrible axis. Oh, well, it happens. I have 1, -2, 3, -1, 9, 0, 1/3, -3, it's about right there. 1/9, -4, so about right there. So I would connect them. And then they would normally have a vertical asymptote that starts at 0. There's been no horizontal translations. Nothing has been moving the x to the left or right. So that vertical asymptote would still be at 0.